Okay, so this is episode 12 with Lindzi Germain. We're absolutely delighted to have you on. And with every guest, we always say we'll let you introduce yourself. So give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself, Lindzi.
I'm Lindzi Germain, so hello and lovely to meet you all and all your listeners out there. I am one of Merseyside's biggest gobs, I think. I got the name Mersey Mouth. I'm an actor, a writer, comedian. I've got my own dance school, all kinds, anyway, everything.
That's one thing we do actually want to ask you. How did that nickname come about, Mersey Mouth?
I got it off Jay from The Guide. So I'm a presenter for The Guide, and every time I go on, I go, "Hey, it's Lindzi Germain. Welcome to The Guide Liverpool." And Tom, who was on sound, was like, "Oh, every time you're on, I have to lower you quite low because your gob's that big." And then Jake just come up. He went, "We're going to do Out and About with Mersey Mouth," and it stuck. Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's a good nickname to have, to be fair.
Yeah.
So how did you get into acting then? So obviously that's kind of what a lot of the listeners are going to know you for, your acting. How did that come about?
I always say that's my main string to my bow.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. I was in school. I always wanted to be an undertaker. Because
strange, wasn't it? What do you want to do when you grow up? Want to carry coffins?
Looking at people like that, he'll need an extra large, won't he? But the Jenkinses lived facing me mum and dad's. They had a massive house, big black cars. I didn't know they were to carry dead people. I just thought they were big cars that were dead flash. I want to be an undertaker. It'll be brilliant. And then obviously found out what they did. And so then I was in school and we got this, the supply teacher in called Mr. Harvey when I was in Chore Valley Girls. And we did drama with him and I loved it. And he was like, "Oh, she's actually got a flair for this." He said, "She's very quick and she's quite funny." And he said, "I think she should look at this as a career." And I was thinking, "Oh, that'd be great. You know, it'll be dead easy being an actor. Just got to learn lines and do a play or a film or whatever." And it was dead easy in the beginning, but now I'm 49. It takes me months to learn a bleeding script. It's terrible. The older you get, because your brain goes like that. It mushes to nothing. Oh, it's awful. Can't even learn a song. I can learn a chorus because it's repeated, but you've got no chance on a verse. And that was it. So then I ended up going to Sandown College, trained for 3 years, left after 2.5. And I've just told my dad that now. I left Dad, okay. I didn't pass, didn't get a diploma. I left. And and then because I got a job at the Empire, and then touch wood, I've worked in the city every year since I was 18. So so that's a good crack, I reckon.
Was there like a first job where you went into and thought, "This is it now, like this is the job I'm gonna do for life"?
I think there was a first play. I went to see a play with school when I was about 16 or 17. It was called No Holds Barred at the Everyman, and it was with Drew Schofield and Mickey Stark, and it was all it was a Scouse version of the complete works of Shakespeare, and they were dressed as two dockers, and it's the best thing I've ever seen. And they can't get the rights to it anymore. Everyone's tried to get the rights, they can't get them. And I watched it and I laughed, and I was in my uniform and I was thinking, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And that completely changed my life. And then lo and behold, all these years later, I go to play both their wives in different shows, and they're both my best mates, which is lovely. Yeah, it's nice to have old friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
The pensioners kept checking in on them through lockdown, ringing Drew, going, "You're all right? What are you ringing me for now?" "Just checking you're all right because you're a pensioner, aren't you?"
Well, with you saying you've worked in the city for every year, you've had like jobs in the city every year. Obviously, we've had the pandemic over the last year or so. How's that been for you, with obviously theatres being closed and basically everything being closed, to be fair?
Oh, shocking.
Yeah.
Just awful. Awful. The first one was great because the first one, it was like the first time in my life I didn't have to be anywhere. I couldn't be anywhere. I didn't have to go anywhere. I could stay in me 8 lounge suits that I'd got for Christmas forever. And so it was like an all-inclusive without a wristband in our house. Let's just drink. Come on. Let's have a full English. Come on. Let's put on our holidays. The sun was cracking the flags, wasn't it? I was out in the garden. Had a bronzy. Brilliant. Paddling pool. Made up. Second one was like, oh, okay, here we go again. You know, come on, let's crack on then. We'll do it again. And the third one was awful, just shocking. Because we were doing the Christmas show. We were doing the selection box, the Royal Course, and we'd done about a week and a half. And then they came in and they said, right, tonight's the last show. And it was like, oh, you are kidding. And even before we'd left the theatre, we all had a socially distanced drink on the stage together. And even sitting there, I was like, I don't want to be here now. I just want to go home, you know. And then I just hit rock bottom. And for about 3 weeks, I was just, and everybody in the industry, everyone you speak to says, this was the hardest one. I think because we thought we were back and we were making progress. And then it's like, yeah, I'm only messing, get back in. Yeah. You know, it's just like, you've got to be joking. But now, I mean, the first two, I did Wake and Shake online and I did story time for the kids. The third one, people would email and going, oh, is Wake and Shake coming back? Which was like my little exercise of a morning, 11 o'clock. Made me get up and get dressed. That was basically what I'd done it for. 7 o'clock, I'd read stories to the kids online and it went berserk. It was brilliant. Third one, people would email, oh, is Wake and Shake coming back on story time? And I was like, no. No, I just didn't have it in me. I just was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I can't be bothered. That was my thing. I couldn't be bothered. And it's okay for me not to be okay. And I learned that through lockdown. Because normally I just go, oh, yeah, you know, when you get inside, you're like falling apart. Because we've all done it. You know, we all paint that smile on. But but I'm back. No, I'm not. I'm back in work now. You know, things are looking up. It's great. The shows are coming back. Fingers crossed that everything now that's coming into plan goes to plan. All these steps ahead, that July we'll be back in the theatre.
The first thing that I ever saw you in was I was actually in them with you. I used to do the pantomimes at the Neptune Theatre under Viv Wells. There was like Snow White and Wizard of Oz and all stuff like that. And that was the first thing I'd ever seen you in, and literally all my family literally fell in love with you from that moment. And we still to this day go to the Royal Court when you're on. Sounds daft, but honestly, anytime we see it, like an announcement where you're in the play, we'll go and see it. So how did you feel going from like the pantomimes to like things like the Royal Court now, where it's, you know, the comedy side of things?
So I started off working for Viv. You know, I got little jobs here and there, and then I ended up working for Viv, as you say. And my first panto was Snow White. I played the fairy, got set on fire by a pyro. And they were like, keep it in, keep it in. No thanks. And then I auditioned for this play, and I don't know if it actually came about, and it was called Lost Soul. And it was on the Unity. Dave Kirby had wrote it. I think my agent might have put me up for it. I can't remember. And so I'd gone to audition for it. I didn't get it. And it's like, oh, sounds. And then this guy, Dave Kirby, was like, we really like what you did. He said, but, you know, we've gone with, they actually got Tina Malone to do it. Tina Malone did it. And she was in Shameless at the time, you know, and that's fine. And she was great in it. And then... might have to cut that bit. Anyway, and then it went to the Royal Course, and then once it got to the Royal Course, they got back in touch and they said, we're going to go to the Royal Court to do it, and we want Lindzi to do it, and it's playing against Drew Schofield. And I grew up watching Scully. We couldn't go out to Devonshire until we'd watch Scully on a Saturday, and then so meeting him was like meeting a megastar, do you know what I mean? And he is in his own right. And that was it. And I got the job. They just straight offered me it. And then me and Drew just hit it off completely, playing man and wife. And I remember the first scene we had to do where they ended up having a canoodle on the couch. And I was like, oh oh my God, you know, I've got a canoodle with Drew Schofield on a couch, and I've never done a canoodle on a couch. And what do you do? And do I just lie there? Because he had to get on top of me. Do I just lie there? Do I open my mouth? Do I move my head? Do I put my hands up? What do I do? And what did I do? Put my knee up and kicked him in the bollocks. So that was like one of our first scenes, and he was just like green, going, oh my God. And I'm thinking, he wants another actress. This is awful. I've damaged him for life.
I can do it better, I swear.
Yeah, bring back Tina Malone. She was better in the past. But and we just loved it. We just hit it off, you know, and then that was it. I just went from one to another, and still have to audition for some of them, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I had to audition for You'll Never Walk Alone, and I was saying to Kevin, why am I auditioning for this? I'm not being like a diva, but I've worked for Nicky before and he knows what I can do. And Nicky Holt was like, I know, but I've only seen you do loud Scouse comedy. I don't know whether you can do the Hillsborough scene justice as a straight piece. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I got into touch with the producer, Jess, and said, give me the script that I've got to learn for this Hillsborough scene. Yeah. Give me that. And I went to the wardrobe and I said, give me the costume, show me what I've got to wear. So I went in exactly as he envisaged this character to look.
Nice.
And did the scene. And at the end of the scene, he just said, I should never have doubted you. He said, because you blew me away. And that's one of the hardest but most rewarding, in a weird sense, plays that I do, because it has got that scene in it, you know, and you can hear people, you can hear men sobbing. I remember my dad saying he was he goes to the toilet every time that scene comes up. He can't handle it, and he says, and people know when it's coming because the men's toilet is chocker, because they're all in there, and they're just like, I can't handle that. And it's a beautiful piece, and Nicky got it from people he'd interviewed who'd lost somebody, and so he made this monologue up. And it's so, from all the laughter and comedy that I do, that's in my heart, that one. Yeah, I love that piece. Well,
we actually had Kent Riley on, another Liverpool actor, a couple of weeks back, and he was in Little Boy Blue. Yeah. And we actually spoke about, obviously, that kind of like, certainly our city, it shook the city, didn't it, obviously with Rhys Jones. And the character he played was the football coach, so he had to go and tell the parents, obviously, that the son had been shot. And he said it did affect him, and it was hard he didn't want to make it seem fake, he didn't want to make it seem over the top.
Do it justice.
He said that he did struggle with it. So how does, obviously with you doing Hillsborough, which shook the world really, how did you feel like kind of having to do that justice? Did you feel a lot of pressure? Was it more pressure than any other production you've had to do?
Oh, definitely. It's the most I have to, like, we all mess about backstage. I especially in You'll Never Walk Alone, because the girls in that are just, they hide and then they jump out on you, and I'm the biggest swearer on the planet. I'm like, and then punch them and throw water bottles. So we're always messing about backstage, and you know, we went on tour, so you got to keep your morale up. And then in that scene, I have this long blue cardigan and a clamp, and I put my hair up in a clamp, and I put the cardigan on, and it's weird, but it's like they kind of know once my cardigan goes on, and I sit down backstage just to gather my thoughts and run the lines, and that nobody goes near you, they tiptoe past you, and they give the scene respect, and it's not even on the stage yet, it's just backstage, but they give that character the respect that she deserves, you know. And I think the way it got staged by Bob Eaton, it's just a stool on a stage in a spotlight. There's nothing. They put candles up behind on a big screen. The two guys are dressed in black, and they just stand at the back, and she just delivers this monologue, and it's beautifully written. And I'd like to think I perform it beautifully and do justice for it. And then once it finishes, you know, you can feel it. The whole place, you know, goes up, and it's not for me. It's not for the piece. It's for justice, and it's for those lovely people that we lost, you know. And that's the hardest. The hardest part for me is not to cry.
Yeah.
Because when I first done it, time and time again, it would emotionally and physically drain me. And the director said to me, Linz, you have to pull this back. He said, you crying. One, we can't understand what you're saying. And two, you're just running with it. You're just letting your emotions of you as a person overtake the character. She's told this story time and time again to press, to other people. She knows it back to front. So her emotions would be, you know, under par really. And then once I did that, I found where she was then. Yeah. That she was, you know, not matter of fact, but like, I'll tell you the story like I've told somebody an hour ago. I'll tell you the story of my son, you know, like I've told the press. Yeah. So she wasn't hard, but there's just one little bit where it always got me nervous crackles. And some nights I did, some nights I fell apart. But always in the wings was one of our stage crew, Mick, and I'd come off and he'd be stood like that. And he'd give me a hug, take the cardigan on, and then I'd run around the stage and run back on the other side like that. That's why I need a PT. You two need to help me out.
That's why they have lucky excuses behind stage.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Yeah. Lucky excuser. And no mind, look, I'd run out halfway backstage.
Yeah, ringing the bell.
Little kid scooter. Little lights on it.
So with the football side of things, obviously you done Reds and Blues as well.
Yeah.
Andrew Schofield was in. And I think, again, I think I was like 12 or something when that got released.
Oh, shut up! Make me feel ill. I was in Banter with you when I was a kid, Linz. I was 12 when you did Reds and Blues, Linz.
I could be lying. I might have been a bit older, 13.
I think you're about 24.
But like, I think that was another one where you kind of reached another like market. I don't know whether that's the right word, but it went to every age group. I think Reds and Blues, because if you're a Liverpool fan or an Everton fan, you watched it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. How was that recording something like that? Because obviously that got released on DVD, and as I said, certainly in the city, it was huge.
Oh, I loved it.
It was brilliant.
Oh,
so funny.
It's just fabulous, isn't it? Dave Kirby come to me and he went, so I'm writing this film, and I went, yeah. He said, it's called Reds and Blues. I was like, oh, good. He said, so here's the thing. He said, I want you to play a blue. I went, what? I went, oh, Dave, I'll have to ask my dad. He was like, what? I went, no, I have to ask my dad, Dave. I said, let me read the script. So I read the script, and there's Annie Field, who plays Drew's wife, Lynn Francis, and there's Gladys Street. And I was like, this was when we did 15 minutes to Shut the Whale first. Yeah. Because that came first before Reds and Blues. Yeah. I went, Dave, I'll have to ask my dad, you know? I went, because he'll go mad. And so my dad said, how much is he paying? Yes, I told him. He went, yeah, go ahead, thank you. So it's all about the money.
We have to get me the.
And then when we did Reds and Blues, even yesterday, I was in Grand Central hosting, and this woman came up to me and went, I'm awful sorry. Can I ask you a question? I suggest. She went, are you Gladys from Reds and Blues? It's like, yeah. She went, oh, my son loves you. She went, you had a picture taken with him in the Iceland. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you had a picture took with him in the Iceland years ago. And then she like got the picture up. She went, he's like 18 now. I was like, brilliant. The kid was about 4 at the time. But we had a ball, you know, it was just boss. It was a brilliant film to do. Yeah. It was shot in Dave Kirby's house and his neighbour next door, Maureen. But it was great. But that was like coming up for 11 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago now.
Oh, maybe.
You had it on DVD.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't 12 then. I must have been about 16, 17. Maybe that's what it was.
Thank you. I told you were older. I only know because TJ played the red kid. He was 10 when we filmed it, and he's now like 20, I think, 21. Yeah. Yeah, so we always know how old the film is by him. And we still see TJ. Yeah. TJ's still acting, so that's nice.
Was there a time where, like, in the city, you started getting recognised and it was just, like, crazy for you? Because there's times where, like, I'll get a message off my mum and she'll say, just seen Lindzi Germain by the Royal Court. Like, honestly, I still get them to this day. So, like, Was there a time in your career where you just like...
She looked like she was fuming.
Just seen Lindzi in Iceland by the spring rolls.
On a lecky scooter.
On a lecky scooter. She's supposed to be on a fasting. She's definitely not.
Was there a
She's
time...
walking go.
Was there a time where it just kind of like... blew
Sorry,
up?
go on. I think Reds and Blues helped massively for the theatre audience. I think it was from the beginning, from Lost Soul, because everywhere I went, because in Lost Soul, the character Donna is fabulous, and but her thing all the way through is for anything that happens, any drama, it's like, just take 2 paracetamol. Do you want 2 paracetamol? Yeah, I'll have 2 paracetamol. I better take 2 paracetamol. So everywhere I went, when I was out, people were going, "Hey, girl, have you got 2 paracetamol?" And it's funny at first, you laugh. But after about the 16th go, you're like, no, but I've got ibuprofen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so nice. My kids, when they were little, my daughter hated it.
Really?
I remember going to the Aston and on Queen's Drive one day, we were walking around. These 2 little kids, they were in the Everton kits, about 5, followed me all around the Aston. And you could see them looking from behind the aisles. And my son went, "Mum, I think them 2 little boys are following you." So it wasn't long after the film had come out. And I was like, "Yeah, I've seen them." And when we got to the car, the mum came over and she was like, "I'm really sorry." She said, "But can my boys have an autograph?" And I was like, I said, "Get them out the car." I said, "Let's have a picture. Come on, get them in the picture and stuff." And my daughter was like that in the car. Fuming, proper fuming. I mean, she's older now, she's used to it, but she was about 6 at the time. She was like, "I hate it. Everywhere we go, people wanted your autograph. Oh, can I have a picture?" I love it. And the kids were made up, and that's all it takes, isn't it? A little autograph, you go, yeah. So it's nice. And then, even to yesterday, a lot of people coming yesterday saying, "Oh, we booked for the next show at the Royal Court to come and see you," and so it's nice. It is nice, yeah. But you've always got to have your lippy on there when you're Mazzy.
Yeah.
If someone says, "Do you want a selfie?" Does my head in?
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's why
let me put my sunglasses on.
So big, and we've got to put lippy on, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's terrible. I can see you got your guy liner on. Looks lovely. When you're working out, though, it sweats, doesn't it? Runs down your face.
Your blusher runs.
Yeah. It's like Alice Cooper at the end of your PT session.
With the Royal Court, obviously you do quite a few, don't you, throughout the year? Is that like your ground basically now? Do you have like a contract there where you have to do like a certain amount of shows a year with them, or do you still have to audition, as you said, with like for certain roles now? We kind of have like a rep company that doesn't get paid.
Oh, wow. So there's kind of like a pocket full of us that they use all the time. And when we get used, that we get paid, obviously. Yeah. But it's not like your typical rep where you get paid all year and they'll come in and out. It's not like that. It just doesn't work like that. So there is a little group of us. We call ourselves the Christmas crew. So every Christmas time, there's like, there's Mikey, Fletcher, Stephen, Drew, me, Hayley, Keddy, and then we'll add people into the pot as and when we need them, and that's lovely. It's a really nice thing to have. So yeah, and then we still audition. We still get stuff that we don't get used for, and but it's nice to get a phone call to say, "Can you read this script? Do you want to do it?" That's the nice thing. It's nice to be in that position now. that they go, "Read this script, see if you want it. We want you to do it." Yeah, which is nice. But we love it. It's home from home. Literally lockdown, they were like, "Linz, you're gonna have to bring a van and empty your dressing room." Are you messing? But it was true. I had a fridge, a bed, 3 big bags and a suitcase. I think I've still left a bag upstairs in the wardrobe department. So I just leave it there. Yeah. And just say, anyone wants to use it, just use it, So, but yeah, me and Drew hiking 2 fridges out the bloody stage door. Yeah. But you've just announced another show, haven't you, with Andrew Schofield, Ellen and Rigby.
which I bought tickets for my girlfriend's birthday. So what's that going to be like? Because I don't think I've seen that posted before on the Royal Court. I might be wrong, but is this a brand new show, is it?
Yeah, it's a brand new show by Jerry Linford, and it's on in July, for the whole of July. So we start rehearsals in June, and this time it's just a two-hander with just me and Drew, and it's a little rom-com.
Oh.
A little rom-com love story about this couple who fall in love over lockdown. And I don't know how much of this I can tell you, but anyway, I'll tell you because I feel like we're friends now, do you know what I mean? Just don't tell no one else. Let me drink the water. So just between us, basically, she's called Ellen, he's called Rigby. He's an old rock star that never really made it. And she is like lives down the road from him, and she volunteers at the COVID jabbing centre. And he comes in for his jab. He has a bit of a wobbler. She says, it's all right, I'll take him home. So she takes him home. And then when she gets there, she says, do you know what? I think I better stay with you in case you take another wobble. And he goes, no, I'll be fine. She goes, no, I better stay with you until you get your next jab, which we all know is 12 weeks. So she moves in. So she moves in with him. And throughout that time, they have the highs and the lows, and they have, you know, lovely moments in it, serious moments. And then obviously me and Drew, loads of comedy and loads of laughs and physical stuff. But yeah, that's all I'm telling you now.
We're not that good of friends yet.
Yeah.
No, we just met, yeah. Don't be giving me all that. We did Banter together. I'm saying no.
You know, with this getting announced, then how did that feel to actually? I mean, it's hard to take anything for granted at the moment, isn't it? But how did it feel, kind of getting dates set, a script sent, even the photo shoots, I presume, obviously with him in the wheelchair on the front cover and stuff. How did that feel like? Kind of.
Well, the photo shoot, we actually done it separately.
Oh, really?
So they were like, we had to go and have a COVID test in the morning, a lateral flow test. Take that in, showed at the stage door that we were COVID free. And then I was in at 12 o'clock and did my photo shoot. And then they brought Drew in at 1 o'clock and did his photo shoot. And then they put them together. But it looks like we were there together.
It does, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
so clever, that boy. So clever. But we did have a sneaky little hook because we missed each other. But don't tell anyone that. It was by the bins. Or any rest, and it wasn't. We were just like, we don't think you can hug, you know. We were just like, we haven't seen each other for a year. You messing? I've had me jabs. He's has his jab. We're all right.
Yeah.
You know, it's that thing of we're huggers, we're actors, we're over the top, we're dramatic. We just we have to have physical contact. You know, with hugging is our big thing. Our families like that. We're huggers. You know, the physical side of the lockdown was horrendous, just awful.
Yeah.
So so many hugs you can get off your husband before you go. Come on then.
Yeah.
And my husband's not really a hugger. He's just like that. Oh, there you go. Pat you like a little dog as if to go, get off now, come on. No, but my son's a good hugger, so I'd say to my son, give us a hug.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. It's great to be back. It's great to know that, fingers crossed, all these steps stay in place.
Yeah, I hope so.
We are going to be back in rehearsals in June.
That's really
in the rehearsal rooms, the theatre. At the moment, they're selling half to capacity because that's what we're allowed.
Yeah.
But on the next announcement, hopefully they're going to say we can add more. So there'll be more tickets going on sale.
Yeah.
Because people are saying already, you can't get tickets, you know, but it is what it is, you know. People think I'm a miracle worker. Text me on Facebook. I can't get tickets. If I send you the money, can you sort me tickets out? No. You know you're all us. Who are you? 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, crazy people. I don't know.
Are you nervous about going back with having a year off stage and stuff? You know, as you said, it's kind of been the longest you've not done it for since you started. Are you a bit nervous about going back?
Well, it wasn't until you just mentioned it. Jesus Christ. bottle's gone now. Wish I'd been an undertaker.
Yeah.
No one minds what you do there. Well, they do. Sorry about that. Sorry to all the undertakers out there, listen. I'm excited, excitedly nervous. Do you know what I'm more nervous about? And I can't believe I'm going to tell you this. Doing 2 halves of a show and not getting off stage.
Yeah.
Because I'm 49 now. So you can't hold it in as much. What if I need a wig?
Oh, yeah.
And I do this faster now. So I just drink water and I need to be by a toilet. What if I need to wait halfway through the scene? What am I going to do then?
You're coming, Andy.
Yeah.
Just whiz off.
Be like Ellen and Rigby by the waters.
Yeah.
Wasn't it good the way the water trickled off the stage? Brilliant, that's it.
Why was it yellow though?
Yeah. She's got an infection. I knew she didn't look a bit well. But I can't. Do you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. We're
Is
going to
there
have a ball.
anything planned after Ellen and Rigby or before then that you've got? What's next for you after that?
Yeah, I've got another little play which is completely different, which is written by a book written by Asa Murphy. He wrote a children's book in lockdown called The Monkey with No Bum. And then he saw me online reading stories to the kids.
Yeah.
And he got in touch and he was like, I've wrote this book that's now becoming a musical. He said, and I'd love you to play Mrs. Jolly, who's the teacher who reads this story to the children and the play unfolds around her. And I was like, brilliant. He hasn't asked me to be the monkey with no bum.
Yeah.
So we've got that coming up. Hopefully that's going to be in the bombed out church, which will be nice.
Yeah.
So it's like summertime-ish. And then, obviously the Christmas show's coming then.
Yeah.
Which is good. But everything we had in for this year got moved to next year at the Royal Court. So the likes of You Never Walk Alone, Mamma Mia, they've all been moved now to next year again. Yeah. So we just keep moving them, but they are coming. They will be there. And then fingers crossed, my show, The Royal, is going to come back.
Oh, I went to see that. Was that the other lady in it? She's dead funny. I can't remember her name, but that's where it was up on the 2-floor type thing, wasn't it? Where the bed was on the top floor.
2 wards.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was hilarious.
I know you're talking about Lynn Clark, Lynn Francis.
She
played Mo.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Oh my God. She was brilliant in that.
Oh, she's my best friend, and she'll be made up that you've said that. She's amazing in it. She's fabulous. And I wrote it with Ange Sims, who played the nurse.
Oh, right.
And it came about because everything was about boys in the Royal Court.
Yeah.
They'd done bouncers for about the 16th time. Then at the time they were doing Down the Dock Road, which was full of men.
Yeah.
There wasn't a woman in it.
Yeah.
And then I was pissed at the bar and said to the fellow who run the theatre, can I say piss, by the way?
Yeah. Say whatever you want.
Oh, well, I was fucking rotten at the bar.
Too far.
And they said to the producer, you've got all these plays with men in, you haven't even got a play written by women or with women, just for women. And I think I was doing a Z in, because in the end he just went, if you're that bothered, write one yourself. I went, I will.
Yeah.
My mum then broke her leg. Thank God. She does everything for me, that woman. My mum broke her leg and was in the Royal. I mean, my dad had go and visit her, and my brother. We were sitting there one day and we were watching the new Royal getting built. Yeah. And we were watching all the nurses coming in and all the different visitors. And my dad went, and we'd cried laughing. And my dad's a funny guy, and he always has nicknames for everyone. This man and woman used to come in and they didn't speak to each other. He'd come in, they'd just go, nod, as if to go, yeah, sit there, not speak for the hour, and then nod and leave. And my dad would go, oh yeah, here's the mutes coming in.
Mutes.
And we cried laughing. Loads of stuff that was happening. And then he went, tell you what, Lindsay went, you should write a play about here. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Write a play about a hospital, about the Royal, about the new one that's getting built. You know, will we ever get there? And that's what it's about. It's about, went back to Kevin and I said, I've got this great idea. It's about the old hospital before they moved to the new one, all the patients that are in, the last ever patient to be in the old Royal before they opened the new one. And he was like, okay, write me a synopsis, let me read it. Wrote a synopsis for him. He said, yeah. He said, we'll put it on next year. I said, brilliant. And then we were doing the Christmas show and he went, I've got a slot in March, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, you're not going to turn it down. I was like, yeah. He said, but I need the first draft at the end of this month. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I can't do that on my own. I said, I'll get Ange Sims to come and write it with me.
Wow.
And so me and Ange wrote it in their back kitchen.
That's brilliant.
Surrounded by cat kitchen. It's like an advert for cat kitchen. And it was floral. Yeah, and we wrote in her back room and he loved it and it was a massive success. Yeah. We got the fabulous Cal McChrystal, who has done all kinds, The Mighty Boosh, Spider-Man, you know, he's the comedy director on all the shows, big shows and films. And they got Cal McChrystal to direct it for us. And his vision is just phenomenal. Yeah. And the way he works is unbelievable. All directors have a different way. His way is the first day he'll work on your character. Yeah. Everyone else can do what they want, but he's concentrating on you. Second day, you're done, he's going to the next character. And to see someone work like that, you go, that's very clever. Yeah. That's really good. Because by the end of the week, you put it all together. And he made us do this exercise. It's a Scouse play, it's written for the Royal, but he made us do it in RP. And it was the funniest thing we've ever done. Just talking the Queen's English, doing a Scouse play. So instead of saying, here you are, lads, we were going, oh, here you are, lads. And it was like, we were crying, laughing. It was hilarious. But it was a great exercise. And it makes you relish the words. That's what he done it for. Yeah. It makes you see how your mouth moves through the words. Yeah. So, yeah, so we're still learning. Even at this age, you know, we're still learning our craft.
Every day's a learning.
Yeah, so fingers crossed, it's coming back, you know.
Yeah, before we wrap up, I've got one more question. So you said that...
Now I'm married. At last.
I've got Tom, don't worry.
You and Tom are like that, I've heard.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned at the start that you have a little bit of a potty mouth. And then since then, you've told us that you do stories for kids. So how hard is it not to swear when you tell these stories?
Oh, well, there's a story. What's the story called? The Wonky Donkey. And I cried laughing doing this book called The Wonky Donkey. I think because I have to go, I've got my teacher head on. I'm Miss Lindzi. Yeah. So Miss Lindzi doesn't swear. And that's how I have to get around it. I did say shit one day. And my dad, out of everyone, I had hundreds of people follow me on Facebook Live. And I was like, hey, oh, I think I dropped something and I went, oh, shit. And then went, so I just carried on. And the person who pulled me up was my dad, who wrote in capitals, oh, you said shit. And I was like, I said shit. There's a shit on the page, yeah. But it got that way. I ended up doing story time for adults, 10 o'clock on a Thursday night. We read a fabulous book called Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. It's on my wall. It's hilarious. Oh, now, this book is supposed to be a children's book, but there is no way. Yeah. She's got a mate who goes, look at my beaver. He's baldy. He's called a Brazilian. How is that not an adult book?
No way.
But with a glass of wine, story time. Yeah. And it was all the listeners who were just like, was like, please do some for the kid, do some for the adults, please. So we did that one. We did Tony's salty nuts, spanked the funky monkey. And it was horrendous. Some of them, I think there's no way these are kids' books, but they are billed as children's books.
Wow.
Mad, isn't it?
Spank the funky monkey who was oiling up instruments and then slotted it in the box. Honestly, I'm going to read it tonight for you. Send you the book in the post.
I'll ring you later.
Yeah, so I got it all out that way. Yeah, but the worst part was reading Tony's salty balls. My dad's called Tony, and the fella in the book looked like my dad, ginger beard and ginger hair. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. But yeah, I have got a bit of a filthy mouth. Not rude, I just swear a lot.
Yeah.
I think I've got three.
We all do.
Yeah, bit extreme now. Yeah. But yeah, all good. So we're all good in the hood. I'm back in the Grand Central at the minute.
Yeah.
Hosting there every weekend. So that's picking up, it's outside, it's in the gardens. So fingers crossed we're getting back to a bit of normality, aren't we?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I think so.
We've got to get on the move. I mean, you have decorated lovely in your lockdown.
I know, yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah, you've reupholstered the couch. Beautiful.
Velvet.
Velvet. Bit of velvet. Love that. Love that, don't you? Full of static when you get off the couch like that. Oh! Watching everything.
No, Lindsay, listen, thanks so much for coming on to our podcast today. Like,
we were buzzing.
Honestly, when you said you'd do it, we were actually together when you said, like, you sent it on the Sunday, saying, like, last week, I'll do it.
Note, we were in
the car.
Like Del Boy and Rodney when they were
it was.
Maybe not that extreme, but like that. But oh no, I was made up. I'm just sorry I couldn't do it later on because I'm in work.
Oh no, honestly, this is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Thanks for getting me up though this morning. Sitting with you in my pajamas.
Listen, thanks.
Never had two men in my pajamas before.
No,
No,
we have.
Yeah, we have.
Lucky yous.
Yeah, there's your new play.
There's your new play to write.
Yeah. Two men in my pajamas.
2 men in pajamas with the velvet cushion.
The musical. Yeah. I got 2 men in my pajamas. Velvet.
You're onto something there. Telling you.
You two be like that. This is about us, This is about us.
Yeah. Royalties.
We give her the idea for that.
Sack the podcast off. Give us suggestions.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to meet you both properly.
No, honestly, we were absolutely buzzing to have you on. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for asking me.
And I'll see you in June on Ellen and Rigby.
See you in June. I'm going to see Tom first.
Yeah. Ooh.
Na. Love it. Oh, take it easy. Jay, Tom, thank you for having me.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Take it easy. Bye. Bye to all the listeners. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Fuck the listeners. No, I'm joking. Please like, subscribe, and follow.
And this week with Jay and Lindsay, we've got on.
Welcome to JTV.
This week's episode is called Whatever Happened to Tom?
Right, piss off, I'm off.
Right, love yous. Jay, I'll be in touch. Tom, I'll be in touch. Take it easy. Bye. See you later. Toodaloo.